Thank you for joining me reading Granddaddy's Bible. It's Sunday, February 4th, week 6 of 2024. Today we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 14. The rites and sacrifices and cleansing of the leprosy in houses. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This is the rite of a leper when he is to be cleansed. He shall be brought to the priest, who going out of the camp, when he shall find that the leprosy is cleansed, shall command him that is to be purified to offer for himself 2 living sparrows, which is lawful to eat, and cedar wood, and scarlet and hyssop. And he shall command one of the sparrows to be immolated in an earthen vessel over living waters. But the other that is alive he shall dip with the cedar wood and the scarlet and the hyssop in the blood of the sparrow that is immolated. Wherewith he shall sprinkle him that is to be cleansed 7 times, that he may be rightly purified. And he shall let go the living sparrow, that it may fly into the field. And when the man hath washed his clothes, he shall save all the hair of his body, and shall be washed with water, and being purified he shall enter into the camp. Yet so that he tarry without his own tent 7 days. And on the 7th day he shall shave the hair of his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, and the hair of all his body. And having washed again his clothes and his body, on the 8th day he shall take 2 lambs without blemish, and an ewe of a year old without blemish, and 3/10 of flour tempered with oil for a sacrifice, and a sanctuary of oil apart. And when the priest that purifieth the man hath presented him and all these things before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the testimony, he shall take a lamb and offer it for a trespass offering with the sanctuary of oil. And having offered all before the Lord, he shall immolate the lamb where the victim for sin is wont to be immolated, in the holocaust, that is, in the holy place. For as that which is for sin, also the victim for a trespass offering pertaineth to the priest. It is holy of holies. And the priest, taking the blood of the victim that was immolated for trespass, shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and the great toe of his right foot. And he shall pour of the sanctuary of oil into his own left hand, and he shall dip his right finger in it, and sprinkle it before the Lord 7 times. And the rest of the oil in his left hand he shall pour upon the tip of the right ear of him that is cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and the great toe of his right foot, and upon the blood that was shed for trespass. And upon his head he shall pray for him before the Lord, and shall offer the sacrifice for sin. Then shall he immolate the holocaust, and put it on the altar with libations thereof, and the man shall be rightly cleansed. But if he be poor, and his hand cannot find the things aforesaid, he shall take a lamb for an offering for trespass, that the priest may pray for him 1/10 part of flour tempered with oil for a sacrifice, and a sanctuary of oil. And the 2 turtles, or 2 young pigeons, of which the one may be for sin, and the other for holocaust, shall offer them on the 8th day of his purification to the priest at the door of the tabernacle of the testimony before the Lord. And the priest, receiving the lamb for trespass and the sanctuary of oil, shall elevate them together. And the lamb being immolated shall put of the blood thereof upon the tip of the right ear of him that is cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and the great toe of his right foot. But he shall pour part of the oil into his own left hand, and dipping the finger in his right hand in it, he shall sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord. And he shall touch the tip of the right ear of him that is cleansed, and the thumb of his right hand, and the great toe of his right foot, in the place of the blood that was shed for trespass. And the other part of the oil that is in his left hand he shall pour upon the head of the purified person, that he may appease the Lord for him. And he shall offer a turtle or young pigeon, one for trespass, and the other for holocaust, with their libations. This is the sacrifice of a leper that is not able to have all things that appertain to his cleansing. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, When you shall come to the land of Canaan, which I will give you for possession, if there be the plague of leprosy in a house, he whose house it is shall go and tell the priest, saying, It seemeth to me that there is the plague of leprosy in my house. And he shall command that they carry forth all things out of the house, before he go into it, and see whether it have the leprosy, lest all things become unclean that are in the house. And afterwards he shall go in to view the leprosy of the house. And if he see in the walls thereof, as it were, little dents disfigured with paleness or redness, and lower than all the rest, he shall go out the door of the house, and forthwith shut it up 7 days. And returning on the 7th day, he shall look upon. If he find that the leprosy is spread, he shall command that the stones whereupon the leprosy is be taken out, and cast without the city into an unclean place, and that the house be scraped on the inside round about, and the dust of the scraping be scattered without the city into an unclean place, and that other stones be laid in the place of them that were taken away, and the house be plastered with other mortar. But if after the stones be taken out, and the dust scraped off, and it be plastered with other earth, the priests going in perceive that leprosy is returned, and the walls full of spots, it is a lasting leprosy, and the house is unclean, and they shall destroy it forthwith, and shall cast the stones and timber thereof, and all the dust without the town into an unclean place. He that entereth into the house when it is shut shall be unclean until evening. He that sleepeth in it and eateth anything shall wash his clothes. But if the priest is going in perceive that the leprosy is not spread in the house, after it was plastered again, he shall purify it being cured. And for the purification thereof he shall take 2 sparrows, and a cedar wood, and a scarlet, and hyssop. And having immolated 1 sparrow in an earthen vessel over living waters, he shall take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living sparrow, and shall dip it in the blood of the sparrow that is immolated. And in the living water he shall sprinkle the house 7 times, and shall purify it as well with the blood of the sparrow as with the living water, and with the living sparrow, and with the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet. And when he hath let go the sparrow to fly freely away into the field, he shall pray for the house, and it shall be rightly cleansed. This is the law of every kind of leprosy and stroke, of the leprosy of garments and houses, of a scar and of blisters breaking out, of a shining spot, and when the colors are diversely changed, that it may be known when a thing is clean or unclean. This concludes our reading today. Have a wonderful Sunday.